Good day, night, evening, whatever time may be, ladies and gentlemen. This is Darth Chain. Hopefully you all are having a good one. Today we're going to be doing Twilight Arbor Path 3, or the Up Path. This one's fairly easy and it's fun to do, and it's actually going to be a little bit of a pain later on, because this wasn't the best run in the world, but we still completed it. You're going to see me skip a couple times, and you're going to see us run past some stack spots, so please bear with us while we get this done. The dungeon starts off exactly the same as Path 1 or Forward. You're going to run past these first two groups here, try and ignore the volatile blossoms, and then you're going to go and face against the nightmare vines. Now, the nightmare vines run exactly the same way. You're going to face the one, and then you're going to have two more spawn, then two more spawn, then the champion. And again, the first group of two are close enough to epidemic. The second two are not. So watch out for that when we get to it. So here's the first one. We're going to take them down fairly quickly, then the other two will spawn. Again, these are static spawns, so you know exactly where they will spawn every single time. We're going to speed this up here in a second and get to the Nightmare Vine. So this time when we were running this dungeon, I was actually aiming at the right one when I used Epidemic. So you'll see I hit Epidemic on that one, and then this one got all the conditions as well, so that helps take him down quicker. These two, I believe, are not close enough to Epidemic. I tried it last video and it didn't work. I may be wrong on that, so if somebody wants to correct me, please do. I'm always up for the constructive criticism. So I'm going to take down number 6 and then focus on the champion, which is fairly easy to do. And once he is dead, we are going to decide what path we want to take. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer for this video before we continue on. If you are an arachnophobe and get scared by spiders just in game, 1, what are you playing Guild Wars 2 for? I'm kidding. And 2, get out of this video. This path is nothing but spiders. So, here we come into the first room where we face our first big boss of the dungeon, Malrona, I believe. And here's why I say we did something dumb. Well, I did something dumb. I just ran in here like an idiot and aggroed everything. One guy talked to me after we completed this dungeon and said, "Why'd you do that?" It's like, he's like, "I'm happy we got through, but why'd you do that?" It's like, dude, Death Nova, I don't care. The usual stack spot is in that clump of spiderwebs right there. You want to have somebody aggro a group either through hitting them or whatever, and then run back to have everybody take them out. Death Nova is essentially going to tag all of these spiders at the same time for me, so whenever one goes down, I rally. So we're going to take them all out and get our buddies up, because I am a failure. So from there, we are going to go and face Malrona. Now, the fight is fairly easy, but she does have this very mean attack that can down you fairly quickly. You'll see here in a second her use it again where those AoE spots are. If you get hit by the attack, it really depends on what you're wearing. It's most likely going to take you down. Me and someone else are going to get downed here in a second when we speed up the fight. But the caveat with her attack is when she does use it, she'll either strike forward, to her left, to her right, or behind her. And that's where a majority of the shots are going to go. Every once in a while she likes to deviate from that, but usually that's where it is. I think it deals, I think I just need about like 60% damage right there to hit me into a down state or so. But we're gonna push through it, take her out, and move on to the next part. Now, here is usually where you want somebody with stealth in your party. And the reason why I say that is because these spiders aren't too bad. And someone stealth is right here, but I act like a dummy and I attack. I completely forgot that. But you're going to have this fork in the road summon these 3 nightmare vines. Now, these 3 always spawn here, and you're going to take the left path. But you want to stealth up to about right here, and then you're going to want to stealth again just to get through this den of spiders, because these spiders are like a honey badger. They just don't give up. Insert a beep because I don't have a beep. But I'm going to try and run through this. You can usually make it through fairly decently, but they are a pain in the butt, and they do eventually kill me. We're going to actually have another video skip here in a second, because, yeah, I died a few times. I know, bad Darth. So here's the skip, and I'm actually going to wait for my friends to resurrect me, and here is where the second stack spot that we accidentally skip is, right here. Now the reason why you want to stack here is it makes this boss like 100 times easier. I wish I was kidding. I have another dungeon run where we actually stack right there and we actually do the stack spots properly, but I didn't want to use it because there was a bad word, to say the least, used around here, and I didn't want to try and edit it off the screen. So I was like, you know what, screw it, let's just use this footage and we're good. Now the reason why I say you want to stack in that spot for this boss in particular is, as you see, she loves to summon spiders. Whenever you touch one of the eggs in this room, it'll break and it'll summon at least an elite spider from it. So the fight can get very overwhelming very fast if your team keeps running into eggs, and that is a complete possibility to do. But luckily I think everyone figures that out fairly quickly, so then we focus all of our attacks onto... what is your name? Fiona? Yeah, Fiona. And we take her out fairly easily after that. We run into a lot more spider eggs, but we really try not to. One thing to notice about with this dungeon is after you have defeated Fiona and you're running through this room, the eggs are still active. If you run into one, you will still spawn a spider. But we're going to take out this boss fairly quickly. It's subjective on that part for this run, at least. She is a little bit of a pain. She is a bit of a damage sponge. Her attacks really aren't too out there, but she does like to transform into a spider from time to time. I didn't notice any attacks that really dealt too much damage. So if you're running at level 80 in exotic or ascended gear, you really shouldn't have to worry about it too much. We take her out and we decide to run through here, and I get the bright idea, do the eggs still work? And I run into one here in a second. Right there. Like, oh, yep, eggs still work. Running around them now. Yeah. So after that, we start heading to Fallon's chamber to face the final boss, so the rest of the run is fairly easy, nothing too heavy to worry about. You can run around this first group right here just by hugging the wall on the left, right over here. That'll keep you just out of their aggro range for a while. When we get to the opening for Fallon's room, instead of seeing Laurent and some of the other bosses from the paths, we just run into a couple of guards. It's because of how the dungeon restructuring. You don't get to see the third boss anymore. So they took it out, because like usually you do path 1, Laurent would be standing here and you'd kill Laurent before you went and faced the tree. Another one, I think Fiona would be standing here before you went and faced the tree, and then the third one is path 1. Path 1, I think the boss from path 1 standing here before you go face the tree. So it changes it up a little bit. So we got everybody in the group here now. One of our party members couldn't figure out how the waypoint worked for a second there. And now we get to go and face the nightmare tree. And the owner of the tree this time is Laurent. And the boss fight is still exactly the same as Path 1. Stand behind it and play it and pretend like you're playing Dark Souls. And for those of you who never played Dark Souls or anything like that, essentially what I mean is stand behind it, pull out a knife, and shove it in its butt. So one of our guys is still watching the cutscene. That's why it's taking so long for the boss fight to start. Should start up here in a couple seconds. His attack patterns are just a little bit different, not too much. I don't think he summons ghostly oak hearts to come and fight you. He does have an attack that hits behind him easily, but it really doesn't hurt that much, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And here comes the fight. But like I said, the fight's fairly easy. You just want to stand back here and attack him. I looked like he had to reflect for a second there. I'm not 100% too sure on that. I really doubt it. Let's see if we can point out his attack when it happens. There it is. So he just has that massive AoE. Again, it's easy enough to dodge out of. You get plenty of time to dodge roll out of there. It's easy to watch for. Just red circles, run. Okay, jump back in, keep stabbing him. And the boss goes down fairly quickly, just like all the other times. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed Path 3, or the up path of Twilight Arbor. Not a lot of people really run these ones anymore, and I can see why. Other than that, I do want to thank the people up on screen right now for helping me out with the video. It was a lot of fun. I should be bringing you guys the Aether Path sometime in the future. I don't have any footage of it right now. I don't know when I'm actually going to get footage, but I will definitely bring the Aether Path. I ran it a couple nights ago, and it was almost as smooth as silk. I thought it would actually was going to be harder than what it was, so I was planning on skipping the path. But seeing as we got through it fairly quickly, I'm actually going to use it. And look forward to Friday's video. I believe I'm using the right footage on Friday. We should be having 2 more people joining us for these dungeon runs. One of them is a completely new player, so it'll be their first time. So hopefully they'll ask some questions about the dungeons, and we'll get through those perfectly fine. The other person has been playing for a little while, and hopefully they have fun on the voice comms. Other than that, I do hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Peace.